Hello artists! In this video I am going to show you a little bit about some of the art apps that you have available to you as we are working in this class. So what we are going to be working with would be primarily these three up at the top. So Adobe Fresco, Adobe Draw, and Adobe Sketch. Obviously, if there are apps that you like a lot, maybe you're really into Fire Alpaca or something, go ahead and use those, but these are the ones that I will be trying to show you. And I say trying because I literally just got this iPad and I am learning these apps right along with you. So we are practicing together. A little bit about each of these. Adobe Fresco is a new app and it's a combination of Adobe Draw and Adobe Sketch. So basically Fresco is going to be replacing these two apps. So these two aren't getting updated anymore. It's all merging into this one. Fresco is a little more complex in terms of the controls than Adobe Draw and Adobe Sketch, which at first may seem a little daunting to get to know and get to learn. But in the end, it's going to have a lot more functionality for you, which is pretty great. So I'm going to just work with Adobe Draw and Adobe Sketch to start with. Obviously, this is your choice because we're all learning together, and the internet's a magical place that has wonderful tutorials and things to show you how to do things, as do the apps. They're already built in, so that's pretty helpful. So just a couple things about the differences between them. So Adobe Sketch is going to give you more painterly type looks. So I'm just gonna click iPad to open up a palette. And you can see over here you have all of your different brush options. These aren't all of the options, but they are a good number of them. So I'm going to click here. So if I click on this brush, if I hold my stylus down on it, it gives me all of these options for different sketching brushes. So we could start with a pencil, we could start with pastels or soft pastels, or even move to pens, which is fun. Different markers, watercolors, acrylic, different types of paint that you could be using. Ooh, spatter punk. That sounds pretty fun. Really punk rock. Cool. But I think I am actually still going to just stick with the pencil. Okay, so let's look over at the layers here. So right now I have nothing on my layers. I am going to open up an image. And I can use any of the photos on my iPad, or I could take a photo. Depends on if you're feeling spontaneous or not. So I'm going to grab a picture from my iPad. And from here, it says transform at the top. So we're just going to make it bigger. So transforming it to make it a little larger. Voila, it's done. And from here, we're going to look at these layers. So this is important. Layers are the most important thing. You don't want to draw right on your picture in case you need to make changes. Because if you erase right on the picture, you're going to erase the picture. Dangerous move there. Okay, so I'm going to take this photo, I'm going to select it, and I'm going to drag it into the middle, okay? And then I'm going to select this sketch layer at the top. So now I have a transparent layer over the top of my photo. Very exciting. This means I can draw on it without fear. I can erase it all I want, and it will be fine. So I have a little pencil set up here. I'm going to, right now it's gray. I think I'm going to just kind of darken that up a little bit. And I'm going to zoom in. From here, I'm going to, I don't know, create a barrier of where I want my image to be. And you know what? I feel like that pencil line is just not doing it for me. So I'm going to hit this undo button. Undo button's up here. Pretty magical. It's like it never existed. Pretty cool. Okay. So I'm going to change my pencil. I don't like it. I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to change the color to black. And up the size just a little bit. Okay. I just need to see it better. I can save that pencil for later. Okay, so from here, I've just made the barrier of my image. Okay, I'm gonna zoom. Oopsie. Sometimes if you don't pinch to zoom right, you'll make a mark. Thankfully, we have that handy dandy eraser. So I'm gonna zoom in on my really cool face. And from here, now I think I want to use a different kind of mark as I'm working. So I'm just going to start drawing a little bit. Ooh, that's fun. I kind of want this one to be all black and white. So as I said earlier, I am learning this along with you. So a lot of this is stuff I haven't done before either. And that is pretty exciting. Because you know what? Maybe you guys already have a lot of experience with this, and you know, maybe you can teach me a thing or two. What do I even have a job for? You probably know more than me about this because you probably had iPads longer. um, yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna make some fun marks here. Oh, that is terrible. Okay, good thing we have that cool undo feature. Much better. Okay, let's pretend that I spent a really long time on this and drew a lot of stuff and you're all really impressed with it instead of just like 5 minutes. I will spend a longer time on it later because I want to, because it's super fun. I mean, just look at all these cool gadgets and gizmos I still have to draw. Oh no. We'll pretend that I did a really good job on this. And you'll see a better job on this later because I will finish it. Okay, so we pretended that I spent ages on this. Now I'm going to make another layer. I'm going to do a sketch layer this time. Okay, so from here, I'm going to change my brush. What do I want? Let's just do this marker chisel. And then I want it to be white. So we'll just take that into the middle, make sure the flow is all the way to the top, make a big brush, and I'm just gonna get rid of all this stuff. You notice how you don't see any of the black lines anymore, and you're like, what are you doing? You're ruining it! Oh my gosh! Just bear with me for a sec. I'm gonna be really cool. Oh no, oops. I need to scooch this over so that I don't accidentally select the wrong layer like I just did. That would have been really bad, and then I would have ruined everything. Are you ready for the magic to happen? I'm going to grab this sketch layer and I'm going to drag it underneath the lines. Whoa! Oh man! It's so cool! Check it out! Is that like the best drawing you've ever seen? Alright, I'm going to speed this up while I'm refining some of my stuff. But you know, we're going warp speed because we're in a rocket ship. Alright, so at this point I could choose to leave it, or I could add another layer. Maybe I want to add some color. So I'm going to create a new sketch layer, and I'm going to drag it underneath my line layer. That way I can still see my lines as I'm sketching. So there's a bunch of different brushes here, stuff for acrylic or oil or watercolor. Smudgy spray stuff. They all do different things, and what's cool about them is they do kind of behave like the actual thing with the certain media and brush that you're using. So I'm just going to pick, let's say, this acrylic one. It's not really what I'm looking for, but I just kind of want to show you what it ends up looking like when we apply it. So as I go in, it kind of just behaves like the brush and it picks up the paint sometimes in addition to laying it down, which is interesting. This could work for you or against you. So I've selected the watercolor brush now. And for those of you that don't know me, I love watercolor. I love painting with watercolor. So we need to see if this is going to be as awesome as I hope it is. So right now, what I am seeing as I fill the space in, after I lift up my stylus, the color kind of blends together, kind of like actual watercolor does, which is really cool. I was not expecting that. So let's just pick another skin tone here, see what we can do. Everything's weird. Okay, gonna throw that in and like, oh my gosh, look at it go! Wow, it's just like wet on wet watercolor. That's so cool. Okay, so this is just like too much for me. I can't handle it. That it's like just behaving exactly like watercolor does. Like, how is technology like this? What is even happening? I can't, I can't even. It's just too cool. Wait, look at that, look at that. It's doing exactly like what regular watercolor does when you put wet stuff next to wet stuff. It's just bleeding. Ah! Watercolor! It's so cool! Guys, this is so cool. Okay, so let's play with some other stuff. Alright, I gotta come down from that watercolor excitement. That was a little too much for me. But yeah, just like these brushes are so cool because they do kind of behave like real paint, and that's really interesting. Okay, so that's a little bit of the brushes. I'm not spending a ton of time on this. So if I'm like, hey, I'm not really feeling this, I don't like these colors, I can hold on to my layer here and look at all these options. I can make it less opaque so it's kind of transparent here. Or what I'm trying to do is just delete it. So I'm just going to wrap up here with some last minute little details. And you all have made it through watching my literal first attempt at Adobe Sketch. I can't wait to see what you all create. So thanks for watching and keep creating.